Hello, everybody. I'm a teacher, an Italian teacher of English as a second language in an Italian high school, Liceo Scientifico Michelangelo Gregoletti in Pordenone, in the northeast of Italy. And I would like to show you how I use first-person narrative in my classes. First of all, why using first-person narrative in teaching English as a second language? Because I believe that when teaching literature, it offers multiple facets in seeing how much the students have retained of the studied literary topics and texts. But above all, it allows enhancing creativity and critical thinking rather than rote memorization, which is actually the goal of using the flipped classroom, flipped learning. In a typical day, my students, after having assigned materials as homework in the form of readings, videos by me or by native speaker professors, shared using the blog or via Telegram, I check the understanding of difficult words or new concepts using oral games, Socratic quizzes. Students always work in groups. The following video was taken during a class on the jazz age. That's why you can hear Chet Baker's music in the background. And it was meant to introduce the novel The Great Gatsby. So checking the understanding of new words such as dust bowl, macracking, bootleggers is very, very important in English as a foreign language. So it's done cooperatively. I just collect their ideas on the interactive board. And also during the class discussion, as you can see, I sit among the students so that there is more speaking if we work in groups this way than during a normal frontal lesson of a traditional class. In order to assess critical thinking and oral fluency, very often my students prepare a talk. The following was devised for our TED club and present it to the rest of the class. Today is a theory that, as you could see in the title, it's an obscure theory from the 50s, which is called viral. And I sit among the students, take notes, and honestly, let me tell you, I learn so much from my students. So that now I would like to show you the outcomes of using first-person narrative because it's much easier to understand the way we work. So interviews to some novelists, poets, characters of plays or novels can be recorded in the form of podcasts or video so that the students become the poets, become the...
So, hello everybody and welcome. I am John Keats and I'm very glad to have a deep chat with people of such a great mindset who have also inspired me in some way. We have so many things to talk about, but firstly, let me introduce all the poets that are here with me. On my right, I have Samuel Coleridge, and then on my left, I have firstly Percy Bysshe Shelley, and then William Wordsworth.
So that in order to do this, they have to study the content and the works of the poets, and then they are able to discuss as if they were the poets themselves. In this case,
enter the elevator and press the major and press the part of Explore. That was the 8th. When
When he stopped, he left out the elevator and he started to walk to his room. Suddenly, he saw a
They had to write a horror story, and I helped them recording their stories using the iPad. In the meantime, the other students, they do exercises, or they check their homework, or sometimes they do some cooperative writing.
But he couldn't succeed in it. Finally, when it said hello to him,
Keep in
he
mind that
found
it's
out
English
that
as a
he was
second
real.
language. So we can also use sometimes creative writing competitions where the students write letters or emails as if they were the characters of the novel or directly related to the plot, like in this case, when after studying Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, I imagined that the monster was back, and so we brought the story to our contemporary days, and they had report in the form of emails anonymously what they had witnessed, and afterwards, they published their emails anonymously in the blog, in the class blog, and they voted in a poll the best email. This way, literature is made contemporary and very personal. Students can also explain
So
the
this
novels they have read.
presentation is about The Circle. The Circle is a dystopian novel written by American author Dave Eggers and first published in 2013. The film adaptation came out in 2017, starring Emma Watson and Tom Hanks.
The students can also create short movies interviewing great writers. We did Oscar Wilde or Shakespeare, and becoming the actors, students had so much fun. Another outcome was a video where the students created the lyrics and the music of a song inspired by a literary novel. In this case, it was Face by Benjamin Zephaniah. And Beatrice.
Try not to give up. 1,000 walls, and I can see who's really next to me.
So Beatrice sings, and her father plays the guitar, and all her classmates acted in the video. Students can also create the trailers of the novels they have read, and it's another way of using first-person narrative in a digital way, choosing pictures, captions. As creative writing activities, instead, we use the form of journaling or essays that can be, again, recorded as podcast. But what I love about this is that these activities engage students in non-Googleable tasks so that they express themselves according to their own language competence, but also cooperating with the others, especially when using the Google Docs with shared documents. For example, we did some Halloween stories.
It was a cold and dark Halloween night. There was a full moon that gave everybody the creeps. But the four friends, Nicole, Sabrina, Paola, and Marika, before going to a party, decided to do something different from last year's and more exciting. They would have a walk in the cemetery.
So they were the protagonists of the story, of the horror story. Younger students interviewed an alien, or else when dealing, for example, with the conditional, in the activity, if I had 40 days of vacation, students created some videos.
Hello everyone, that's Sara and Lorena. We were asked where we would like to travel for 40 days, and, well, we have decided to visit some of the European capital cities. We have chosen this type of trip because it gives us the possibility to see just in one time some wonderful places that are so different one compared to the other.
As you can see, it's really a first-person narrative. So they also did the journal of their school trip, the study tour abroad, where they compared the British school and the Italian school and also the system. Another great way is also having talking pictures using, in this case, photobubble.
The Mona Lisa from Da Vinci is an oil painting which represents a woman, to me, the real model of the woman. I really like her features, especially her eye sockets, because they're very realistic and represent her as she really is.
There is a lot of new vocabulary going on and being used, but also they express their likes and their dislikes. Another way is the creative use of social media, where the students identify and create dialogues between the literary authors they have studied, in this case, the picture of Dorian Gray. And I realized how much humor, is involved in this kind of activity. Or also they write messages to the main character of the book using Twitter, so that they make a completely different kind of language activity, making the text more condensed and short. So as you can see, learning this way, and the students enter, they are in the game, and it is so much fun. All the presentations they have created, why I would like to be forever a child, much more than just the passion about the passion for skating, braces, a very personal experience, story of my life, are all ways of doing a first-person narrative in English as a foreign language. I really hope not to have bored you, and I thank you very much for your attention. And I send you the warmest greetings from Italy.